What I think, I create. What I feel, I attract. What I imagine is what I become. When I bring them all in harmony, then I am. This was an amazing download that I received today, this morning. We are in the second day of our new year from the new moon of spring. And the download I received during the thundering and the lightning from last night that ionized and clears the air, that removes negative energy from the sage smudging that I did last night, and the circle that I smudged and drew in my meditation, gave me an amazing download this morning. And I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to share that with you. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I know usually I've been shooting videos inside my home, but today I had to get out in nature in order to shoot this video, and I'm sure you guys can appreciate it. So I know the lighting gets thrown off a little bit, but we'll be all right. So before I get started, though, I want to thank all my subscribers. I want to thank everybody who subscribed to the YouTube channel. Please go over and subscribe to my Coach Renz YouTube channel as well. And I just want to appreciate everybody who's a patron. I really appreciate that. There's a couple of questions on Patreon. I'm going to answer those today. So I appreciate you guys. And if you're finding me for the first time, we talk about the 360 degrees of life. And guys, I am full of life right now. Just as there's an abundance of life around me. You know, I hear the birds, I hear the bugs, hear the water, you know, the wind, the sun. You know, we're in such an abundance of life. And you have an abundance of life in you. So let me tell you guys, let me give you a little background on this so that we have a full understanding. If you saw a video I did the other day on finances, then I talked about the fact that we are in the new moon. The farmer would say this is the new year. The new year is not in the dead of winter. The new year is in the birth of spring, the birth of life. Your new year personally starts on your born day. When you are born, when you come out of the womb, that is your beginning. That is your new year. Every year, your solar return, we come back to that. That is your born day, your be-earth day, whichever version you want to call it. That is your day to start your new year. The new year of the earth in the northern hemisphere is spring. And we had the first new moon. For those who follow astrology, who follow the almanacs, who are farmers, who are, you know, gazers of the stars, and realize that the new moon is the beginning of the growing moon. It's the beginning of the growing season. It's the beginning of seeding and planting and growing of things, of creating, of creation. When the mother moon is creating, it is the beginning. So April 5th was the beginning. Now, for those who are energetically and esoterically involved in that, they understand that 3 days prior, energy leading in. 3 days after, the energy continues. We're in our second day. Last night was our second night. And in my area, as I sat in the grass last night, as I sat in the grass, looking at the sky, seeing Mars above me, Venus in the east. And I'm meditating, but before I meditated, I took my white sage. For those who know, white sage, burn, smudging white sage, releases all energies, good and bad, positive and negative, releases all energies so that you can reincorporate energies into your life. So I smudged a circle around, and then smudged all my chakras, and then over my entire body, smudging, meditating during the smudging. Then afterwards, I sat and meditated. Thoughts, imagination, feelings. In my mind, my mind's eye, I imagine my life in its totality, in its completeness of joy and happiness for me. What it is for me, not for you, Not for that person over there. Let me go ahead and selfishly say that this video is really for me to be able to come back and listen to as often as I choose. So, oh, sun on your face. So nice. But I sat there and I saw the 360 degrees of my life. I saw the joy and the happiness. I saw my health in the level that I want my health. I saw my movements in the way that I want my body to move. I saw the way I work, the way I move in my work, the way I move in my relationship with my children, with my loved ones, with my family, with my friends, with my associates. I saw the way I move, how I speak with you guys and deal with you guys. I saw my movements in the way that I desire for them to be, the way that I desire to be myself. I saw all my movements. I saw my affections. I saw my love. I saw my economics. I saw everything in the picture, kaleidoscope, the mural, exactly how I desire them. And then I began to contemplate it, began to see it in different approaches. I began to think about it, how to engineer it. Think about my actions today. Think about how I move today, and I think about how I will be then. I created the thought, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it. And as I began to think about it, I started to feel it. I started to smell the house. I started to smell the cooking and the food. I started to feel the hugs of my children. I started to feel the happiness inside myself. And I started to understand the balance that I had between my logic and my emotions. And I felt those things, and I lived those things, and I was just living it. All of my senses, you know, from touch, feel, smell, hearing. I'm hearing everything that moves me, that motivates me. I'm hearing everything in the environments that I was thinking about and I was imagining. I can hear the sound. I heard myself last night standing here, listening to this water, hearing those birds, the rustling of these leaves. I heard that last night. So I knew to make it my reality. It's great. Most of the time people will tell you that if you come into that kind of a meditative state, and on my video, the Tao verse 6, we talked about how there is no differentiation between the meditative state of mind, between what is reality and what is not, what is earth plane reality and what is astral plane reality, what is above, so below. There's no separation between the two. That is the true idea of as above, so below. There is absolutely no separation between the two, between the astral, the physical, and the elemental. There's no separation. We create it with our own perspective. We created with our own perspective. So I had to make my astral reality my physical reality, so that on the inside it becomes my elemental reality. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And I decided to share that with you guys. And as a reminder to myself, tomorrow and the day after when I watch this video over and over and over again. In order to do this, in order to have that, it's more than just creating a vision board. In order to become my I am, then I am. In order to become that, in order to that to become my reality on all levels, the alchemical laws, the Kemetic laws, the Atlantean laws, the Hermetic laws must be implemented. That law of vibration, that action must be taken. That is just not merely you thinking about it. It is not merely you meditating about it. It's not merely you smudging. It's not merely you acknowledging the astral. No. The astrology, no. There's more to it. I'm going to take you through some of it. The first thing, as I said on that video, the Tao verse 6, and I'll post that video up at the end of this one. You have to first come into an acceptance of where you are right now. I know where I want to go. I know where I've been. I accept who I am right now. Because my past has created my present, I must accept my present right now so that I can then make the necessary changes to deliver my future the way that I desire for that future to be. So you have to come into an acceptance right now of who you are. Hardwired parts of who you are, conditioned parts of who you are, fallacies of who you are. Remember that throat chakra is blocked by the lies that you tell yourself about yourself. So you have to open that. So in opening that throat chakra, accept who you are. Stop the lies that you tell yourself so that you can then engineer the changes in your life, engineer the actions, engineer the words, engineer the way you dress, engineer your physical health, engineer the people that are around you so that you can then live that life. Be the person, be the I am that you desire to be, and not be held back by anything or any aspect of it. So you have to first accept that. And when you accept that, accept it without guilt, accept it without shame. Forgive yourself of any misgivings that you have. Forgive yourself of any traits that you deem are not worthy traits for you, because those traits may be worthy for someone else, but any traits you deem that's not worthy for you, forgive yourself. Do not be ashamed. Recognize they are what they are, and then begin to make your changes. If you've been poor with money, recognize that you've been poor with money. Then begin to implement financial alchemy to change it. Get a budget. Do the 70-10-10-10 plan. Pull your credit. Begin to fix your credit. Take on the personal responsibilities of it. If you've aligned yourself with people who do not foster the greatest version of yourself, who do not allow you to grow, who stifle your growth, who will negate everything you say, who will cause you to say, well, I want to be pleasing to them, so let me not go too far over here to the right, let me stay over here to the left, and so that I may remain pleasing to them, let me do that. And you'll remain in the same place. And that past that created your present will be the same thing that creates the future that looks roughly the same as your present. So if you have to reassociate yourself with people, renegotiate and reassociate the relationship, it doesn't mean you have to eliminate people out of your life. But this person who's a friend may now can only be an associate. This person who is an associate may now need to be a friend. As much time as you spend with this person, you may not be able to spend it with that person. You need to spend it over here. Where you spend your time, that's the next thing. Control your time. Control your time. Where are you spending your time? How are you spending your time? You cannot achieve the success of having, say, a great relationship with someone if you're not spending time with them, if time is required. I have a great friendship with one of my boys out in California, Brandon. Me and Brandon seeing each other every day is not a requirement of our friendship and our growth and our support of each other. I have another great relationship with my friend Troy in Tampa. Me seeing Troy every day is not a requirement of me and Troy being very supportive of each other and everything. And I want to go on video. Troy, what you sent me, I really appreciate that. Just to let you guys know, our mentor passed away, and Troy, I wasn't able to go, but Troy sent me the information about it and sent me some, you know, the program and everything. So I appreciate that. I want to say that in front of everybody. I really appreciate that. But that's what I'm talking about. That kind of friendship does not require us seeing each other all the time. But that's what we do for each other, because that's our friendship. You understand? That's our friendship. So control your time, control the people you associate with. Control will help you to control who you are and develop who you are becoming, so that what you imagine your life to be, what you imagine yourself to be, let me rephrase, what you imagine yourself to be, you can become it, because you are thinking and creating all the surrounding things, everything around you. You're creating. God, dog, these downloads be on point for me. Because the thing is that when you imagine what you are becoming, what you want to become, you think about all the elements around you that is part of that becoming, and you feel it and live it and breathe it, and you move into it. You take those action steps. You control your time. You control the people around you. You control how you move. You control how you move. And then the last thing I want to tell you, and then I'm gonna leave you guys. I'm gonna leave you to your day. The last thing I want to tell you about: control the balance between your logic and your emotions. Oh, you got to control the balance between your logic and your emotions. You see, if you say, well, I feel like, yes, how you feel will attract those people around you. How you feel will attract everything into your life. So, you know, I feel, therefore I attract. So how you feel, it will attract everything. It'll attract everything into your life. Now, the thing about that is that if you're out of balance, if you're overly emotional, overly feeling, if there is no balance of logic, if you have not put facts with your facts with your understanding so that you are walking in wisdom, then you will feel yourself away from your thinking and feel yourself away from your imaginations. You see, this is why they all must come in harmony so that you can then become your I am. If you're becoming, what you imagine yourself to be is a very in shape person. Let's use something simple. In shape. You imagine, you imagine yourself in shape. But in your thinking, you think about everything that's against you. You think about you don't have time. I don't have money to go to the gym. I can't afford to buy the right foods. You're thinking all these. And so you're creating that environment of everything around you is going to be against what you imagine to become. And then you're going to feel down about it. You're going to feel like you can't accomplish it. You're going to feel like it's too tough. You're going to feel like it's too difficult. And so you will never become it. So it will never be your I am. It will never become your I am. In your imagination, you are this romantic person and got this love of your life that is in your life, and y'all are just loving life. But then you're thinking that there ain't enough men in Atlanta and that all of them are either in jail or gay, or you're thinking that all the good ones are married. You're thinking that they're all dogs, or you're thinking that every woman is a gold digger. You're thinking that every woman is going to flip the script on you. You're thinking that every woman is going to do something negative toward you, and you feel like you're always going to be alone. You don't feel love. You're not being love. You're not being happiness. You're not being fun. You're not being creative. You're not being adventurous. You're not being any of the things that you desire, that you had the imagination of. You're not being it. You're not feeling it. So then it never comes. They're in conflict. There's no harmony. You got to bring harmony to it. So if in your mind, part of your becoming, your imagination, is this amazing relationship with a man or a woman, you got to think of creating the entire environment that you would develop that relationship, grow that relationship, that relationship will flourish in. What is the entire environment? How much time you spend together? If you saw my video about love languages, how much are you living and giving them love in the language that they speak it? Are you into the dialect of the language they're speaking? Just because, oh, I know it's physical touch, but how do they like to be touched? I know that it's gifts, but what type of gifts and the thought process in the gifts? You know, I know that it's words of affirmation, but what type of words of affirmation? When are you into the dialect of what gives them love? So you gotta get into that mode, create that environment, right? Become that yourself. You're hardwired to give love a certain way. So because you are, give love that way, become that, feel that, become love, as they say. Become love, feel it, engineer it. Know that I am with a person and this is my love language that I speak, my 1 and 2 love language that I speak. Now, these are the love language that I can adapt to and the dialects I can adapt to. And guess what? That person, they speak that same love language as well, and they speak it back to me, and we speak in similar enough dialects that we can, you know, build this relationship so that as I am, so is they are, and then we are. We are. So they got to come in harmony. And as they come in harmony, then you'll experience that joy, that love, that amazing situation. Then you become the love that you desire, so you attract it. So what I think, I create. What I feel, I attract. What I imagine, I become. And when they're all in harmony, then I am. Remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.